Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Expedishun, and do you know what? I am very, very quickly closing in on 1,000 hours spent in EVE Online. Now, this is going to be the first episode or first video in a series of videos where it's catered more towards newer players. Now, this isn't a video like I've spent 1,000 hours, here's what it looks like, look at how much money I've got, look at the ships that I've got, these are all my skill points. It's nothing like that, okay? It's not going to be like that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of that, and I am going to talk about a few tips and tricks that I have picked up along the way to really help me out in my game. And maybe, and hopefully, somewhere along the line, it can help you out too if you're a new player, or if you're, a player who is returning or an older player. Maybe you can get some use out of this as well. But before we jump in, I have been thinking recently, and what I want to do is I have set up something. Okay, so if you haven't seen my video of why I became a solo nomad, it basically talks about how the fact that I don't like all the politics that goes into alliances and how they govern corporations within said alliance. And I didn't like that, and a lot of people were in the same boat. And a lot of people have been talking to me, a lot of people have been adding me to contacts and stuff, and commenting on videos and stuff, and asking me could they play with me, and the answer is always going to be yes, of course you can. You don't need to ask. If you want to play with me, by all means, search for Expedishun, it's the channel name, search that, and two might come up, Expedishun and then Expedishun 2. Go for the first one, that's the main one. The second one is only ever on whenever I'm doing double ice mining. But with that being said, one of the things that I've come up with is I've really started to put some time into the corporation, because I realised that a lot of people like the idea of a corporation but don't know where to begin. If you want to come and join my corporation, which is the Black Ice Interplanetary Group, you can, okay? And I will show you right now, if I pull this up, okay? Here's the description that we have for Black Ice, or BIG as it's called. If you're looking for a corporation that provides a company, we're the one for you. No requirements and no obligations. That is true. Blah blah blah. You will not have to relocate. You will not have to fly any ships you don't want to. You will not pay any tax, and you do not have to sell through the corporation. Okay. Think of this as more of a social space rather than a corporation. You're not required to do anything. You could be on the other side of New Eden and still be in this corporation if you wanted to. Now, if you're in a corporation, and this goes for people in corporations and not in corporations, what I have done is, because I know that not everybody wants to join a corporation, or they might be in one with their friends and they don't want to leave it, and that is fine. What I have also done is, if I come over here, I have set up a channel, okay? Just recently set up a channel, okay? So it's called Notepads. Okay, basically what I want this channel to be is kind of like a safe space for newer players, or for players who just want to sit and have a chat, don't want to deal with joining corporations and leaving other corporations or anything like that. It's an alliance without any strings attached. You could be sitting there, and if you are out doing some things and you have no one to talk to, you can join this channel. I always have it open every time that I'm online. It automatically signs me in, so therefore that whenever I come online, if you see me in the chat, you can go ahead and basically just sit and chat away with me. If you want, that's it there. If you want to find out how to get to it, since you're probably more than likely a new player, on your chat box, open channel window and just type in NEOPA. And it'll obviously, you hit join, but then it'll obviously say you're already in the channel. It won't say that for you, it will automatically join. Honestly, I am the owner, so therefore I can ban people, I can time people out, I can kick them out of the channel and stuff. So if people do start kicking off or whatever, you'll be told to get the fuck, okay? But that's that being said, right? I know, fuck me, near 5 minutes in. Okay, so I want to go over some hints and tips and tricks and stuff for you, for newer players, to really get into the game. Because obviously you can see right now I in my rattlesnake, right? This rattlesnake it's not cheap. It's like 1.2 billion, I believe. Okay, okay, according to this, 1.4. Okay, so that is that. Okay, so I'm on my rattlesnake and I want to show you a few things. As you can see down here, I have one weapon, or one rocket, and I have one core probe launcher. I don't. Okay, and you'll see down here that it doesn't look like an awful lot, whereas if you were to build this exact ship, it might be a wee bit different. Okay, so these three dots here are these, is that 4 lines? Anyway, the options menu down here, okay, display passive modules, all of these can't be activated. You're attempting to activate a passive module, you can't activate it, so don't even try. So what I want to do, especially in like ships like this where it's going to be fighting rats and stuff like that there, I don't want that. Okay, so the options, untick display passive modules, and you get only the stuff that you can activate, which is great. Now as you can see, if I move this down here, I have, here's my rapid missile light launcher, Rapid Light Missile Launcher 2, and you can see that it actually says 5 there, but there's only 1 there, which if you hit this, it will ungroup all weapons and it adds them all together like that. Alright, so that is fine. This is good for whenever you're, say for toxic, you are, you're fighting a big group of rats, and maybe you've got your drones on one, and you are also maybe wanting to put 2 launchers on one, another 2 launchers on another, and then another launcher on someone else. You can do it that way. If you're like me and you're just firing your launchers all on one time, you group all weapons, which is right there, and you can have it like that, and it's great. Speaking of drones, as you can see here, this is my drone bay, and as you can see, my drone's in bay, blah blah blah, here they all are here. Okay, so as you can see, it will tell me, for the Valkyrie 2s, I've got 1 of them, ogres, I've got 2 enter ogres, I've got 2 and augmented ogres, I have 2. These are all in their separate folders. I folder everything, and what I will do is, if I do this, I can come down and go move drone, and I can either move it into a new group, move it out of the group, or I can put in, and all these groups that you see on the side, these are all groups that I've made on this account, on this computer, at some stage or another. Doesn't mean that these are all the drones that have been in this. Okay, so whenever you come down to it, if you want, you can sit there and you can go, right, do you know what, I'll move it out of the group. So that's the way that it will sit, and then I can come down here, and then I can go, right, Valkyrie 2s. That means that if I'm coming along here and I need to fight, say I have salvagers as well, I don't want to come up here and hit launch drones, because it might launch a salvager. I don't want that in the middle of a rat fight. What I can do is I can come up here and I can either hit launch drones there, or you can right click and launch drones. Okay, and they will come out, and there you go. And then if you click this, you can see them in space, you can see what they're doing. If I've got something targeted, I could hit F, and if they're combat drones, they will go and fight. If they're mining drones, they will go and mine. If they're salvage drones, they will go and salvage. If they're those EC300 drones, they will go and jam up another target that you have. And if you want, just all drones return to bay, that wee arrow there, and they will come back in, and they will go straight back into that wee folder. It's just a nice way of keeping things grouped. I prefer everything to be grouped. Okay, I prefer absolutely everything to be grouped. So that is that, right? I like to have these. Again, it segregates them so that if you know that, right, again, I want Valkyries out, I don't want salvagers, you've got them all in one folder. Click and launch drones, away you go. Locations. Please, for the love of Christ, use locations. If you're just getting into this game, please, 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 pretty please, with the cherry on top, use bookmarks. Okay, what you can do is you can, if you really wanted to, okay, you can stop all this here stuff here. Okay, but what I could do right here, if I hit Control and B, it is going to save that spot. Okay, so basically what I've done, if I come in here and I hit my mobile tractor into my inventory and I do launch for self, okay, it can't be deployed within a station, so you see, we'll speed that up a bit and we'll come back to it. Okay, I have these all again in folders, so that if I know that I've got some PI going on while I'm here, what I can do is I can come down and go, right, well this, if I warp to here, it's a barren planet and it's going to be doing microorganisms, or this one is a gas planet, it's going to be doing noble gas, or this one is a storm planet, it's going to be doing base metals. All right. You don't have to do that, obviously. Here's my high sec locations. There's a mobile depot, well, used to be a mobile depot in this system here. I could just quickly warp to it. That is a system. Well, it's this system, so what we actually can do is we can remove that. The safe spot, just in case, I can just warp out. I dropped a mobile tractor unit out in a random part of the solar system. Save that location, pick the tractor unit back up and drop back into where I needed to go, just for the sake of having a safe spot, so if I ever need to warp out for whatever reason. And then I've got something here, so nothing to see here was a mobile depot. Then I've got some more stuff that can be gone. Potential logistics point, that's something to do with what I'm doing in the background. Here's some null-sec systems. These are systems that I used to have. So that was a rat system, a market system, an ice system, and that used to be my home system. Okay, and you'll see this loads of times. You'll see me doing this all the time. Whenever I am in wormholes, as soon as I enter a wormhole, I will save the exit, and I will just name it wormhole exit. This folder here, I have saved locations. As you can see, it says deletes in 3 hours. So what if I do here, if I do launch for self, okay, and if I pick this, you can stop. What I can do is I can right click that. I'll do it over here. Right click that, save location, and there you go. You can pick your folder of where you want to save it. Okay, and you can also set it so that it never expires. It expires in 2 days, or it expires in 3 hours. Okay, more than likely what I'm going to do, or more than likely whenever I'm getting into a wormhole, I'm never in that wormhole for longer than 3 hours anyway. So all wormhole exits and stuff like that, I have it set to expire after 3 hours. So 9 times out of 10, anytime you see this folder, it is completely empty, and that is the reason why. So like later on tonight, because I'm working right now, as you can tell, I'm doing a fantastic job. After tonight, whenever I have some free time to myself, everyone's in bed sleeping, the house is completely sorted, I'll go do some wormhole stuff. And whenever I go do some wormhole stuff, the wormhole exit will appear in there. Okay, so that is that, right? That is the main stuff. Okay, that I can drop back inside here. I've got that on, so that's fine. As you can see from here, actually I'll slow this down so I can show you. As you can see from here, this is what my UI looks like. The great thing about the UI is you can do whatever you want with it whenever you want, and you will notice about the 4 screens that are on my UI right now, they have the same thing. They all have the padlock on it. Okay, and that means that if I try, I can't move it. Okay, whereas if I hit the 3 wee dots, okay, we see. Oh no, if I click that, sorry, if I click the padlock, now I can move it. Okay, so if you want something on your screen that you don't want to move, 3 wee dots, lock window size and position. Now you'll see that I have it set up. So here's my general, this is my overview. I never need to know anything that is really far away. Okay, so I have this set so that the distance, whatever's closest to me, shows up first. Okay, so if I have rats dropping in on me, or if I have an enemy player dropping in on me, they're going to appear here. I can warp out via my save locations, or I can pick something here and just warp out. Okay, that is there. That won't change. That stays by itself. Just because it is important, that stays by itself. Down here I have got drones, contacts and locations. I have them all set like that. Okay, and up here I have got inventory and probe scanner. Probe scanner is always open because I use it to see when the ice belt is up, but I also use it for whenever I am out in my buzzard and I'm doing some exploring, wormhole signatures, stuff like that. To get it set up like that, very easy. Okay, so if we come over here, I am going to unlock it, and it's just a case of whenever you've got the window open, you just come up here and see the way that wee bar up the top right hand corner lights up. Whenever you let go of that, it's just going to click in. Okay, now originally the probe scanner won't come up like that. Originally the probe scanner will come up like it would actually come up in the solar system map, so it'll be up here. Okay, basically what I've done is there's a wee thing that will say floating. The probe scanner will pop out and I've put it in there like that, and then I just have them up like that. So That's the way I prefer it, so I will always have inventory and probe scanner up there. Drones, contacts and locations are always down here. The selected item, you can have it there. It's just every so often I'd just be sitting there and I'd move it by accident or something like that. It's fine. Also, what I will do is, if I slow this right down, come back over to the drones, and we will release a drone. What I will do is hold this in and I will lock the target, and you will see, if you've played this game even for 5-10 minutes and you've targeted something, you will see that it pops up here. Okay, mine's doesn't. Mine's pops down here, because again, you can move this here, we target list anchor. If I grab that, move it there, that's fine. If I move that across like that, and then the next, just it goes across to the right hand side. So it's just a great way to move it about, because if I'm down here, I like to be able to see everything. I like to be able to see, right, what's my ammo looking like, what's my capacitor looking like, what's my shields looking like, right, and my targets. So that's all good. So what I will do is we can just dock up now, and while we are going in, we'll talk about some more things. Bar on the left hand side, very useful. Okay, very useful. You might see some stuff that's on here that isn't on yours, and that is completely fine. Because if I come in here and say, for talk's sake, I wanted to go to journal, right click, add shortcut, and as you can see, journal appears down here. Okay, so you can add bars to it. Okay, so you can also remove it just by right clicking and removing the shortcut. You can do that, that's no problem. If you find yourself using a lot of stuff day in and day out, add it to this. Okay, it will make your life so much easier. And the two things that you will see is planetary industry and also Notepad. I cannot stress enough how much I actually use Notepad. It is ridiculous. Okay, and I mean ridiculous. I have Notepads for a lot of things, and as you can see, right, I didn't do my January video because I made 1.75 billion for January. Okay, nothing spectacular. Okay, that's that. Okay, so what I can do is I can come down here and delete that. I think I put it in part of a video. Again, you can make folders if you want, call whatever you want. These haven't been updated in a while, but as you can see, I have the price of gas. So if I'm in a wormhole and I warp to a gas site, and in that gas site there's 2 to 3 different types of gas, I'm coming in here straight away and going, right, which is the most valuable? Because you're in a wormhole, it's got to the stage where you're like, right, I am in danger. Just automatically assume that you're in danger in a wormhole. You need to get in and get out as quickly as you can and make as much money in that time as you can. So I'm coming in here and I'm going, right, well, as of December 2022, it's going to be different obviously now, but as of December 2022, the most expensive gas was C32. Right, okay, is C32 there? Yes it is. Go for that first. Right, and then if you have the time, you go for something else. So again, I have it with the ore prices, this is that, blah blah blah, and then only available in HiSec, and that's the compressed white glaze. Obviously, again, December 2022 hasn't been used in a while, but that used to be the price. I think it's dropped now by 5,000 per unit. Use Notepad. Notepad is so handy, even for just remembering stuff. Even if it's I have left a I wouldn't even use that as a thing. You can, if you have some things in systems that are some systems over, like I usually leave a few things here and there in Jito. As you can tell, right, so we're in Halima, which is where we are now, which is my home station and the corporation's headquarters. Down here underneath it will tell me, okay, so here's my stuff, there's my ships, all that there, blah blah blah. That's fantastic. Then if there's stuff in another system, it will tell you the system, and it will tell you, what you can do is you can right click, hit set destination, and as you can see, that over here is turned yellow. Now if I was somewhere else up here in the route, there you go, so it's 0 jumps because I'm in the station, or I'm at the correct system now. If this was 10 jumps away, it would tell me the route is 10 jumps, what the location is, what the destination is, and then all through here it will give you the squares for each system, and it will be color coded due to their security level. Okay, so use that as well. So we're almost there, we're getting slowly there, but what I can do is I'll come up here, and this route we are going to clear all waypoints, get rid of that. Also, these things up here, they will appear on your screen like this, okay, at all times, and it drives me mental whenever you first start the game. So if you just click them, they disappear. And also, if you click and hold, you can drag it about whatever way you want, okay. I use this one to start because I come down and go, right, 2,500 skill points isn't really for me. What I'm going to do is I'll wait till the day that it's 10,000 skill points, 25,000 skill points, and so on and so forth. Speaking of skill points, this is something that I found out recently that it blew my mind. Okay, so you can use this, or you can use the app. Now, if I try to use, say if I want to do Megacorp Management 5, I obviously can't bring it above 4 because you have to train skill level 4 before you can do 5. That is what that red line is about. I can't bring that up here. It will tell me that I can't bring it up here, okay? So it needs to be done in the right order. Now, these two, right, because this down to here, from the Caldari Strategic Cruiser up until here, I am currently skilling into the Tengu, okay? So if I wanted to, say if I wanted to do the defensive systems before the propulsion systems, I can just move that up, okay? That's great. And you can do it within the app as well, okay? So there's an app, and then you can use that for skill points, and it's great, right? It's fantastic. I always used to sit and fiddle about with this and go, right, if I added something down here, there used to be times where I had like 20 items on a skill, and then you're dragging it up and dragging it up, and it's a pain in the ass. Of course, given. And I used to do it on the app. You know, I'd be sitting there thinking about something while I'm at work, or if I'm out, and go, oh, I'd like to learn that. So I would put it into the app and then train it, just drag it to the very top. Instead, what we can do, we're going to pick something that, this. Okay, so Caldari Cruiser 4. Right click it, apply skill points. Now, as you can see, I've got 112,317 skill points. I don't have enough because skill points needed is 186,275. But if I wanted to, I could click OK, and it would put all of my skill points into that Caldari Cruiser 4. So you don't have to reorder if you're in game, which is fantastic, right? Absolutely amazing. So that is that, right? That's the skill points. Obviously, now a lot of this stuff you might not use at all times, but you can. Okay, so if I open inventory management, this is what my item hanger looks like. Okay, so you'll obviously have the ship that you're in. Okay, you'll have your ship hanger like that there, and this is my item hanger, because I like to keep everything in its place. Everything has a place, and it's in its place. Right, so obviously you can look at those containers and go, right, what are they? They're just containers. I know that they have padlocks on it. You can put security passwords on it, but I'm the only one that can access these. Not even my other account can access these. So obviously if I come in here, these are all just blueprints. This is the fuel that I have, that I use for my Orca. Ice and gas, as you can see, we're not in an awful lot, but we are only at the start of February anyway, 6 days in. Miscellaneous stuff, this is all just random stuff that I've picked up from brats, and also exploration, so data and relic sites as well. It's only worth 14 million. Planetary industry, these are some materials and stuff, because I'm not too sure if I'm going to actually do planetary industry or just sell the materials that you can get from it. And then reprocessing, so sometimes I reprocess ice for the fuel, and whatever's left over just gets put in here. Right, I like to keep these segregated like that because it's absolutely amazing. Corporation stuff we can't get because this is in our corporation headquarters, but that is that. There is so much that goes into this game, and I realise that there is so much that does go into this game that I can't put it all in one video. I can't put all the beginner tips and tricks and pieces of information that I've picked up along the video, or all in one video, because this video is 25 minutes long and I'm only breaching the surface. You've probably seen stuff like, my overview was different from yours, or if you've seen someone appear in my overview, they were flashing, stuff like that. That is all stuff that you pick up along the way that I could get into, but this video is already 25 minutes long. But basically, in a nutshell, that is what 1,000 hours looks like in EVE. It's not based on what ships you've got. It's not based on how much ISK you have or how many skill points you've got. It's all based on the knowledge that you've accrued and how you put that into your game to make your game easier for you. This is the way that I've set it up, so that every bit of information that I could need on a daily basis is on the screen right in front of me, but it's not cluttered. That's the way I like it. You could be different. That is entirely up to you. But again, because I didn't cover everything, if for whatever reason you need it, here is that again, right? Join that. There is no requirements to join it. You just join it, and if you don't want to look at it, what you can do is you can just flick over to this, your local chat or your corporation chat or whatever. I would advise on joining it. It's just so that if you do need help and I'm there, I can definitely help you. Or if someone else who watches my videos is there and I'm not, hopefully they can help you. You know, we can use that as kind of like a forum where people can just come together, sit and have a chat. If you need help, get help, or if someone needs help, help them. That's what it's set up for. You know, who needs alliances when you have Neopa? Again, my corporation is there if you want to join it. Again, there is no requirements whatsoever, and there it is there. I don't hide my location either. I'm in the solar system, Halima. I don't give a shit. Come and see me if you want. If you want to add me to contacts and sit and have a chat, go for it. But I do advise on the Neopa. I'm really trying to get that off the ground and running. But that is going to do it for me. Hopefully some of these tricks have helped you along the way. Hopefully there's some, you know, tips and tricks and stuff, you know, that you take on board and use in your everyday life. But that's going to do it for me. Ladies and gentlemen, until next time, thanks for watching.